Today we're going to bring you a story about a tragedy that occurred. A mother of 5 killed, beaten to death by her husband, a lawyer in both North Dakota and Minnesota. It's probably allegedly from a custody dispute. She arrived at the home to take the children to church, and he allegedly was not agreeable with that. She was holding the youngest child, a 3-year-old, while he proceeded to beat her to death. So let's take a look at this. The suspect, Anders Odegaard, 31 years old, North Dakota attorney, also Minnesota attorney. Divorced from the victim, Carissa Odegaard, who's also 31. They had 5 children between them, ages 9 to 3. He is charged with the murder of his wife. She was beaten on Tuesday, August 23rd, and then declared brain dead in the hospital Wednesday, August 24th, and passed away. Okay, this is a page that I found while doing some research on Anders L. Odegaard. This is from State of North Dakota courts showing that he is having a business address in Warren, Minnesota, which would seem to tell us that he is now practicing in Minnesota. An email address for him, his bar ID number, the law school that he graduated from, University of North Dakota, admitted to the North Dakota bar May 1st of 2017, and list his status as active. On Tuesday, August 23rd, deputies were called to Anders Odegaard's home in Warren, Minnesota for a domestic dispute call. The person that made the 911 call said later on that 2 little boys flagged him down, told him to call 911 because their mother was bleeding really bad and needed help. Once the responding deputy entered the Odegaard home, he stated that Anders Odegaard came out of the kitchen wearing only a pair of boxer-style underwear, and he had smeared blood on his left eyebrow and blood in his hair. When he was asked what's going on by the deputy, his response was, "I don't feel right." It wasn't long after that that the deputy discovered Carissa Odegaard, 31 years old, the ex-wife of Anders, laying in the entry of the home, and she appeared to have severe head trauma and had blood pooling around her on the floor. The deputy started CPR measures and continued that until the Warren ambulance arrived on the scene, and they rushed her to the hospital. She was later flown to a Fargo hospital, and unfortunately she was pronounced brain dead on Wednesday, August 24th, and she passed away. Deputies reiterate that the only thing that Anders said is, "I don't feel right," when asked if he would speak with investigators, etc. Now, all 5 children were in the home at the time, and they range in age from 3 to 9. And I know many media outlets are reporting that the youngest child is 2, but according to friends and family, the youngest child is 3. She was actually holding this child at the time that Anders was beating her to death. Now, when they asked the children what was going on, the 9-year-old child said that they had been staying at the dad's house and their mom came to pick them up, take them to church. Their argument ensued, and He believes that his father grabbed a knife or a spatula and hit the mother with that. The 9-year-old told deputies that he had seen his father hit his mother before, but usually just with his hands. And then, like I said, a couple of the children ran out. The mother did say call 911 according to some reports I've seen, and the children ran out and flagged down the person that called 911. So it would appear now, as I get more information, that it was the older two boys that were staying with their father. The mother came to pick them up to take them to church, and the fight between the parents started allegedly in the backyard. The dad did not want the kids to leave, according to the children telling officers this, and they began to tackle each other. His dad started choking the mother, and she was holding the 3-year-old brother at the time. Now, the 3-year-old got away, or they were able to get the 3-year-old away, and the 8-year-old brother says that he actually cleaned blood off of the 3-year-old. Another detail is that when the deputies arrived at the house, they found a washing machine running with a fresh load of clothes. Remember that Anders was wearing just boxers when they arrived, so it appears he was trying to clean off his clothing. The children, 2 other children, were in the car now during the assault. So that has changed as I've gotten some more information about this. And if convicted, ODEGAARD could face up to 40 years in prison. They finalized their divorce, the couple, last year. They had joint custody, with Carissa having sole custody of the children, physical custody, visitation with the father. Is that how it is? It was, but she was granted sole physical custody, but they did see the father. So now, the other thing is, they were doing court next week for a divorce review hearing. So this came before that. And yeah, just unbelievable tragedy. Anders ODEGAARD was formally charged with second-degree murder in the Marshall County Court on Thursday, August 25th of 2022. And his neighbors say that Anders always tried to conceal his identity when he was in public and often sat in his car doing nothing. Anders ODEGAARD was appointed a Mercer County prosecutor in the summer of 2021, but was fired only 3 months later. The county commission never stated publicly why he was fired. He then served as a public defender in Stark County. Again, he was fired after only a few months on that job. According to social media by Gerstle Law Firm PC, Anders was hired 6 months ago to work in their Golden Valley, Minnesota office, but the firm has confirmed now that he is no longer employed there. Some more information is regarding the divorce decree that took effect. In that filing, it was noted that Anders ODEGAARD was deeply in debt. He owed $103,180 in student loans, $22,650 on a personal loan, and another $32,750 in credit card debt in his name, and $34,590 in credit card debt in both of their names. He also was obligated to pay Carissa ODEGAARD $1,983 a month in child support, and was ordered by the court to pay her $11,298 to cover the time since they were separated until the divorce took effect. The court hearing in connection with that divorce review, was set for August 30th. They don't explain the specific reason for that hearing. And again, Anders is charged with second-degree murder, and he is being held in jail, and I believe his bail is $2.5 million. Yeah. Now, a friend pointed out on Carissa's public Facebook page that a post she made last Sunday showed a picture of a children's room, and it said, "They are gone for a week. I fought back this time," and he responded the way I knew he would. But at least I know they will be physically safe. I won't stop fighting for their safety. Emotional safety is just as important as physical safety. This is a friend of hers, Laura Vaughn, also a public post. She put this about her friend: "My heart hurt so much. As I was sending my kids to their first day of school, my sweet friend Carissa ODEGAARD passed away after being assaulted by her ex-husband during a custody exchange. Carissa, you love so well. You will be missed by so many. I am struggling to process this loss right now. I am heartbroken, but I am also angry. I am choosing to focus on what an amazing person she was, how much she loved God and loved her kids well. We had our babies together and we grew as moms together. Our oldest were born just months apart, our girls 2 months apart, and our youngest 1 day. She squeezed 5 babies into the time I had 4. We met when I bought a crochet hat from her when our firstborns were tiny. We took music classes and attended play dates together. We celebrated each of our babies together, and she was such an example to me as a mom. She taught me so much. I spent the day yesterday looking through our messages, through her old posts in our moms group, and seeing what an amazing friend she was to me over the years. I also spent time looking at the photographs that she took of me and my family over the years." And I'll stop to say, yes, Carissa was a photographer, took many pictures of her children and other people's children, friends, family, etc. "I will never look at those photos the same. I can see her face on the other side of that camera and hear her voice and giggle as she got my kids to smile. We were going to do so many play dates with our 3-year-olds together this year, and I was looking forward to her taking our family photos in October. My heart hurts to think of doing those things without her here. Carissa did not hide the fact that she left him because his mental health became emotionally abusive. She was clear that emotional abuse is abuse and that she would not stand for it. She would not allow her children to be subjected to that. She fought him for full custody, but legally still had to let her babies go with him when he was emotionally abusive. But Carissa was also very clear that she was not concerned for her or her kids' physical safety. She told us he had never harmed her or the kids physically. It only took once. Please keep her family and those 5 sweet children in your prayers. God is good and he will use this senseless act of violence, but it's disgusting that he needs to. If you're able, please support her GoFundMe or your local domestic violence center in her honor. Domestic violence affects so many people, families, and communities." And then her sister, Anna Wanowitz, I think that's how you pronounce her last name. There was another article, and these are her quotes there, saying that she wants to thank everyone for the outpouring of love during this tough time. And she said, "My mom said she, Carissa, was the easiest daughter to raise. No offense to the rest of us," she said with a laugh. Okay, Carissa was also going back to school for medical coding and running a photography business. And her sister went on to say that Carissa made being a mom the greatest privilege in life, and said that after leaving her ex-husband, "I watched her rebuild a beautiful life for her and her kids. She invested herself in all of their needs. She was so elegant with each of their personalities and gave them all tools to succeed while cheering each of them on in their interest." Again, that is from her sister. Carissa's sister described her as a young woman with a compassionate heart and sensitive spirit and said, and I quote, "You could feel the peace of God coming off of her even when things weren't perfect, a family mixed with grief but pride at the same time as she fought for her kids up to her final breath. While all of us are very heartbroken, we are also all very proud of her for standing up for herself and her kids. She's our hero." They also want everyone to know that the 5 children are safe and a GoFundMe has been set up for the children and family. If you or someone you know is in a domestic violence situation, you can call the U.S. Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-7233. And we offer our thoughts and prayers for Carissa's children, her family, and her friends. Thank you.